What's going on, everybody? It's Dominic from the Primetime Treasure eBay store and YouTube channel. I want to do a video with you tonight about a situation that sometimes occurs to all sellers at some point, and I wanted to tell you about how I deal with it. This is a situation in which you have an item that's up for sale. It doesn't matter, it could be 7 days, could be 30 days, and you may or may not have watchers on it. Typically in the situation I'm going to describe, you do have a bunch of watchers on it, and it's the last day and it's going down. You're watching the time go down. You got about an hour left, you got about 30 minutes left, and then somewhere within that last 30-minute time frame, could be the last 10 minutes, could be the last 5 minutes, someone throws you a lowball offer or a last-minute offer on the item. Now, why does somebody do that? Very, very easy to understand why somebody does that. If you go back to one of my recent videos, one of the things I talked about is you have to try to make sure that you have leverage in whatever situation you're trying to make a deal in. Now, sometimes the buyer might have more leverage than you. Sometimes as the seller, you may have more leverage. But in this situation, when it's coming down to the very end, the buyer is trying to assert some type of leverage, because what they are thinking is that you don't want this item to be listed again for two reasons. One reason, because you don't want to have to wait all over again for it to go through possibly another 30 days or another 7 days or something like that. And two, they know that you may have listing fees associated with a relist or selling the item similar again, or if it just goes back automatically if you have it set for good till canceled. So that's what they're hoping for. They're hoping for that you're going to get just frustrated and that you just say, okay, I'll just sell it right now. I'll just take the offer and I'll just sell it. So I would tell you the way that you would handle the situation really depends, but the core thing is that you really want to try to avoid being in situations in which you have an item that you're just desperate to get rid of, because then you really have lost your leverage. And sometimes there's going to be situations where that happens, you just want to get rid of something, but for the most part you really should try to avoid being in that situation and be confident with your item, especially if it's the first time that you're listing it and it's just going through one time. Depending on what you sell, it could be clothes, could be collectibles, could be books. It just could be that the right person who wanted that particular item just wasn't there within that 30 days. And then the next time you put it up, it sells. I can't tell you how many times I have relisted an item, or I actually do sell similar, as opposed to relist. And if you're new into eBay, the reason why I do that is that when you relist the item, it stays with the same item number and it gets kind of stale in the search engine. So if you hit sell similar instead, that will give it a new item and it will make it look fresher in the eBay search algorithm system. So many times I will sell similar, sell the same item again, and that same day it will sell, or it'll sell even within a few hours, or it might sell within a couple of days. So you have to have the patience to do that. Now, that happens in situations where someone didn't do an offer at the last minute, but many times somebody does. And sure, there are times that I will accept it depending on what the situation is and how close their offer is to what I actually am willing to take. But you know, as an example, let's say I had an item that was listed for $19.99 and a person comes in at the last moment and they offer $15. Now, what I would advise you is that don't feel like just because there's 15-20 minutes left that you can't make a deal. Go back to one of my early videos where I talk about negotiating and meeting in the middle. Send a counteroffer in that situation and say, I'll meet you in the middle at $17.50. If that person is putting an offer out there, it does show that they have some interest in the item, and you also use a little reverse psychology on them, because what they don't know is if you are going to actually relist the item. Once it goes off, for all they know, you might decide to just do something else with it and not relist it, and then they're not going to have access to it, especially if you have it up for the lowest price. That's another thing. If your price on the item is already the lowest and someone's still giving you an offer for something for lower than what you have it on, and your price is the lowest, you actually have to know that they probably already know that. And in your mind, when you send that counter offer, and you could actually say, hey, listen, my price is already the lowest, I'll take a few dollars off, or I'll meet you in the middle, and you're still getting a great price, and more than likely they're going to accept the offer. Okay, so because think about it, where are they going to go? They're going to then say, are they going to say no? Let's say you said, in the situation I described, it was $19.99, they offered you $15, you say $17.50. The next highest guy whose auction ends in, or whose sale ends in 2 days, has it for $25. Are they really going to say no to the $17.50 and buy it for the other person for $25? No, they're going to accept the $17.50. So don't get intimidated that it's the last 20 minutes or the last 30 minutes or the last hour. In a situation like that, still try to make a deal with the person. Okay, now one other situation that will sometimes occur, and it not always in the last hour or the last day, sometimes it could just happen if there's 15 days left on the item, but actually something that happened to me last night is what I would call not a lowball offer, but I'd call this an extreme lowball offer. And what I mean by an extreme lowball offer is that the price is so out of whack that the person has offered to you that it bears absolutely no resemblance to what fair market value is for the item based on your product research. And in some situations, the cost of shipping the item would actually exceed what they're actually offering you. So let me give you an example of this. And this actually happened last night, and I'll tell you how I handle it, and then I'll tell you why I handle it this way. This is, as many of you know who follow this channel, I do specialize in the sale of comic books, and this is what we call, it's a graphic novel. So it's a Superman book, and if you're not into comics, it doesn't matter. Just imagine this was, if you sell clothes, that this is a pair of shoes or a scarf or a shirt or something like this that you valued at $10, okay? And so there's many people selling this book. Completed sales research shows that it does sell. As you can see, it is still in the original cellophane wrapping. It is in mint condition. There's nothing wrong with it whatsoever. There's a lot of them on the market, so while it does sell, it's not always the fastest seller. So it's something that I know as a seller that it could be up there for a couple of cycles before it actually sells through. Now, I actually had it up for the lowest possible price. I had it up for $9.50. Now, I know that doesn't sound like a lot of money, but, a lot of times we talk about the items that we sell for $60 or $100, but there's always your bread and butter items that you're selling for $10, $15, $20. That if you have a low cost of goods, and this is something I got for like 15, 20 cents, 25 cents, when you factor in $2.50 shipping, $2.60, $3 shipping, you're making around $6, $7 on the item, and those things add up. So anyway, so that's why I had it priced at $9.50 with free shipping. It was the lowest price available on eBay for it. Now, in a lot of situations, you'll actually have someone who will just purchase it, buy it now, even though you have it buy it now or best offer. And all of my listings are buy it now or best offer. And the reason why someone will do that as part of the eBay community is to just buy it now and not make an offer is, in a lot of situations, they realize, listen, this guy, he's got 100% positive feedback. I know this is what the buyer's saying, I know that this is the lowest possible price, so why am I going to try to squeeze the person for more money? And, it's a reasonable price, and they just buy it. So a lot of people do that. And so, that didn't happen in this particular case. I actually had to do sell similar again. I'll tell you how I handle that in a moment. But what happened is that, so I have this book up for $9.50, and with 2 hours left on the book, someone sends in an offer for $2. Now, I told you this is going to cost around $2.60 to ship it, and so obviously, and when you factor in the fees and stuff like that, that would exceed the cost that the person is the price that someone's actually willing to give me for it, what they're going to pay me. I'd actually lose money on the item sending out, and I'm not in business of losing money, so absolutely not going to accept that kind of deal. So the question is what do you do in that situation? Do you counter offer the person and say, I'll meet you in the middle? Absolutely not. Your price is already low enough, it's already the lowest on the market, or maybe your item isn't the lowest on the market, but maybe it's one of the lowest on the market. You already know you have it priced fairly. You already know that it's something that should sell. So there's no reason that you, and especially if you have a pretty low margin there in terms of how much money that you can make on them. Like I said, this is going to be about a $6, $7 profit item. So you don't want to, you want to value your time. You don't want to lower it much more than that. You don't have really a lot of wiggle room to negotiate with there. So you got to stay firm on your price. And so in this situation, I would advise not counter offering the person. In fact, what I actually do in that situation, now this is only for someone who does what I call an extreme lowball situation like that. What I do is I take the person's username and I go to my blocked bidder list, and that's located in my eBay if you haven't used it before. It could be a little tricky to find, so what I actually do, I just have it bookmarked, and if you want an real easy way to find it, just type in blocked bidder list on Google. It'll take you right to the page, then just bookmark it, and you could always go there. And you just go down and you put the person's username in there, and then they can't bid from you, or they can't buy any items for you or communicate with you in the future. So then what I do is I decline the offer, and I attach a message to the person who made the offer, and I say, you have been added to my blocked bidder list for sending a non-serious offer. I don't say anything rude, I don't say anything disrespectful, I just say what the facts are, and those are the facts. Now, someone might say that that's a harsh approach, but I'm gonna explain to you why I actually take that approach. One, when I first started and I didn't use that approach, what would then happen is that same person would continuously send me these extreme lowball offers on multiple items in my inventory. And so I'm sitting there getting offers that are coming through, and at first you don't know what the offer is on. You have to hit the button, and maybe you think, okay, great, I'm gonna be able to make a deal here, and it's the same person sending the same extreme lowball offer. So I don't have time to deal with that. I don't want to deal with that. So you put the person on the block bidder list. You don't have to handle that anymore. The other reason is that, and I'd say actually two reasons, and they're kind of related to one another, is that, eBay is a community. And it's a community where people are supposed to be respectful to one another. The buyers are supposed to be respectful to the sellers, and the sellers should be respectful to the buyers. And part of being respectful is not trying to take extreme advantage of somebody. And in that situation, that's what somebody is trying to do, is take extreme advantage of the seller and try to pinch them at the last possible moment and hope that they're desperate to just get rid of the item. So it's not again, it's not something that is really realistic for them to expect, but sometimes people still will put that offer in anyway. So that's the other reason in that I attached that message, just so you know, in case you're wondering why did I do that. Again, that's not to be mean, but that's so that if you're a seller watching this video, that person's going to think twice before he goes to your item and he offers you one of these extreme, or she offers you one of these extreme lowball bids or lowball offers. Okay, and so the person will think twice about that, and then hopefully next time around say, okay, I shouldn't do that because I don't want to be added to someone else's blocked bidder list. So that's how eBay sellers could actually support each other, is by taking that kind of approach. It's the same thing with opening a case when a buyer does not pay you. Make sure that you open a case, because then that buyer will get an unpaid item strike on their account. And if they have multiple unpaid item strikes, then they cannot purchase items on eBay anymore. But the only way that can happen is if you as a seller actually report that. So protect your fellow sellers and protect eBay as a community by handling people appropriately who offer these extreme lowball bids, extreme lowball offers, and who don't pay for their items. In terms of what I did with this item and relisting it, sometimes when I relist an item, and I should say sell similar, when I hit the sell similar button, if I have wiggle room on the price, what I'll generally do is I'll just lower the price a little bit. Maybe I'll lower it $1, maybe I'll lower it $2.50, maybe I'll lower it $5, maybe I'll lower it $10. It just kind of depends. But in this situation, as I said, I don't really have a lot of wiggle room to really lower the price much. So I know it's going to sell, but so what I decided to do is just add value to the product. And that's an important concept as a seller. What you want to do to be successful is to add value for your buyer. So what I did, and sometimes you got to get a little creative. So I've got this, as I said, it's a Superman book. So what I did is I took another Superman book, and this is a really thin one. In fact, I'll just take it right here, right out of the bag to show you what I'm talking about. It's a thin, soft cover. That other one was a hard cover that I showed you. This is what we call a trade paperback. It's super, super thin. I mean, it's only a couple of ounces. And so what I did to my listing, I just took out my camera, took a picture of both of these together. When I ship them together, it's not going to change the weight whatsoever. So when someone is looking and saying, okay, well, I want to buy this book because this is the main item they want. They want to get Superman End of the Century. And they see two people who have it for around $9.99, but the other person has one of these books associated with it, they're going to buy mine because I've added value for them. And so keep that in mind. Add value doesn't change my shipping weight. I have a ton of these that I got in a comic book deal laying around, so it makes no difference to me to just toss it in and add value to the customer. So that's my little video today. I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope that you liked it. If you have thoughts or comments about the approach that I take or the approach that you take in this type of situation, I would love to hear it. Please drop a comment down below. Make sure you hit that like button, give a big thumbs up. Important to subscribe to the Primetime Treasure YouTube channel. I need to get some more subscribers and I know you people are watching it, but make sure you hit that subscribe button because that tells me that you're really interested in this and you want to see more videos, and you'll get notifications in your mailbox that those videos are there. Stop by, check out the Primetime Treasure eBay store at the link below in the description section. And the last thing, I just want to put in another plug. Please stop by the new Facebook group. It's the Reselling Resource Center on Facebook, a supportive community where you could share stories, share links, share your brands, share your product, promote yourself a bit in a non-spammy way, and also just get support from fellow resellers, ask questions, provide answers, share, be on the lookout items, all that type of stuff, okay? So make sure you stop by. I do have the link to that also down below in the description section. Have a great weekend, everyone, and happy reselling.